On this episode, we talk about if you have to get up at 5 a.m. to be successful. We do a quick beard analysis, and we talk about why rich people continue to do anything. Hey everybody, and welcome to Finish Friday, the show where we help more creative people change more lives. I'm your host, Todd B from Tennessee, and this Ask the Audience is so important, I'm not even going to leave it to the end like normal. I need to know your thoughts on the stages of beard. Like, we're getting pretty serious here, and so I want to know if you like, one, the super caveman beard, two, the kind of medium, normal-sized beard, or three, like fresh-faced Todd from camp days, which you have never ever seen on the show and probably won't, no matter how many of you vote for that one. But I hope you're having an amazing week. I know I'm having a good one. My family's Alabama fans, so if you keep up with college football, obviously a good week from them. The lesson I want to pull out of that, right, because the coach like transitioned and put in an untested quarterback at halftime of the biggest stage in the college football world, and I'm sitting here afraid to move from Twitter to something else because I know Twitter isn't getting as much action. And so in lieu of that insight, I'm going to ask you right now to head down to the link down there and join the Facebook group. I'm starting to do more things there, engage with people there, and really try to build a closer community with you guys who watch the show and who are on Facebook. So with that, let's get into today's topic. I knew this was crazy when it came out of his mouth, but when I heard my friend say these words recently, I couldn't help but be a little shocked. Somebody and I were catching up recently about work and life and what our schedules looked like. And this guy and I had connected before about our schedules because we were both morning people. And I still am a huge morning person. I'm up every day at 5 a.m. reading, writing, and that kind of thing. But my guy comes to me this time and he says, you know what, Todd? I've given myself permission to sleep in past 5 a.m. And I'm like, what kind of declaration is that? I can't believe we live in a world where you have to say something like that in that way. Like if you aren't getting up at 5 a.m., then you are somehow lesser of a human being. But I realized that if I were to try and sleep in, I would have to do the same thing for myself, because what happens is we get caught up in this internet stuff and we all think we have to do certain things to be successful. One of those things that's pumped up by entrepreneur and internet hype artists is that you have to wake up at the crack of dawn or never sleep in order to be successful. And guys, today I kind of want to take apart that myth, because the truth is, if you are not happy in the day to day, you will not be happy with the result. This week, I want you to look at your life and think about what you're doing because someone else told you to do and what you're doing because it truly fulfills you. And I'm not saying there won't be sacrifices and won't be changes necessary, but when you are doing things for reasons that you decided, your road to artistic success will be a lot more pleasant. Rocking with my dandelion coffee again this week. I got a 2-pound bag of Danda Blend this time so I could like supplement my warm drink habit while without spiking myself on caffeine. This week's question of the week comes from Donetta, and Donetta asks, hey Todd, I'm a new follower. Do you think ebooks are the way to go? And I followed up with her a little bit on Twitter just to kind of get a sense of what she's talking about and what she writes about. And I've come to the conclusion that the best answer I can give for everybody is this. What ebooks do are lower the barrier to entry for a lot of writers. For most of us who are starting out, we don't have a big audience. We don't have a big publisher or a big deal. So we have to look at these things like ebook. But I want to tell you that it's not necessarily the format which matters most when it comes to a book. It's the quality. I recently got in a book from my man Ben Hardy, who's sending me this sweet like advanced copy. It's printed. It feels nice. I'm not going to sit here and say that this feels the same as an electronic book, but what you have to make sure of is that your work feels like it's quality. I think if you're a beginning writer right now, self-publishing an ebook is probably the best thing you can do for your career because you learn the ins and outs of how to get a book to completion. But that doesn't mean you can ignore the quality piece. So if you're looking at publishing right now and you're trying to decide on some options, I would say ebooks are definitely not out of the question, but you have to make sure that it feels like a book. This week's artist spotlight goes on someone who is probably best known for being huge and having claws in his fingers, and it is Hugh Jackman. Now, you guys know, some of you, I saw The Greatest Showman last week and was just super impressed by it. But in my kind of obsessive tracking down of all the songs afterwards, I found this video of Hugh, and I'm going to have to link it up down below because it is literally life changing. He comes, I don't want to spoil too much for you, but there was a point where the movie was getting green lit and he wasn't supposed to sing, but he was so kind of overcome with passion for the song and the message that was in that part of the movie that he literally couldn't help himself. And again, I'm gonna link that down there. You have to watch that. But it reminds me of why people continue to do anything. Like, obviously this guy is huge, he's rich, he's got a career that's established, he's going to probably go into some kind of Hall of Fame someday. So why would he continue to have this drive and this passion inside you? You guys, it's never about money. I just want to remind you because I get caught up in that trap sometimes, but it never is. It's always about, if you're an artist that's successful, it's about creating better stuff. It's about creating more stuff. It's about getting so caught up in what it is that you're trying to bring to life that you literally cannot help but burst forward in that effort, just like Hugh Jackman. So I'm obviously a way bigger fan of him than when I started out, and I have to give respect where respect is due. That's it for episode 52. I guess we already covered the Ask the Audience. Don't forget to vote on the beard. I don't know if it, probably my wife will have a lot more say on what it looks like than you guys, to be honest, but I'm interested to hear your thoughts anyways. At this point, give a thumbs up if you're liking the show. Don't forget to comment because it helps get in front of more people, more artists, so we can help them do their best work. Again, I'm Todd B from Tennessee, and I will talk with you next week.